The virtue or the positive actions never can disturb any kind of negative circumstances. At the end, seal the action purposely by the dedicating the merit which will ensure that it is the continually grows, ever greater. And therefore, these three are its a supreme method. And the beginning, to have good attitude, compassion. In the middle, to have non-conceptualization. And at the end, like dedication. And these are the related to the compassion and the wisdoms. And also it's this is the great also explanation why it's because it's like if we are doing something, before we doing positive things, we apply the compassion, and then these good things is become the benefit, and also it's like profound, and in the future the source of the good. Maybe it doesn't matter big or small. And also if we're doing it like a small but enhanced by the compassions, these small positive actions can create huge result, the happiness. There's many examples we can to study in the causality chapters, causality sessions. And also like small negative things also can create a huge result of the negative result, because it's like intention is maybe very fully negative. And the intention is fully the positives, and then doing something small, and the result is very big positive. And doing something small negative, but intention is a huge negative, then small actions can make the result huge. And therefore, at the beginning, it is very important to check the attitude, and this supreme attitude of the compassions enhance any activities. It doesn't matter the spiritual activity or the worldly activities. And then in the middle, if we have non-conceptualization, simply to say, like kind of the enhanced by the emptiness. For example, we can to say when we're doing the generosities, the doer itself, the receiver of the object, and the connector of the between these things, three are the enhanced by the non-conceptualization, means it's like enhanced by the view of the emptiness. Non-conceptualization, there's a huge explanation, and you can to go deep and deep and deep. Non-conceptualization is the non-conceptualization is the best meditation. Non-conceptualization is best action. Non-conceptualization is the best view, and therefore it's the representative of the emptiness, and it is like kind of free from the any like fear, hope, and anger, or positive or negative thoughts, any like kind of. This means it's like more mind making the free. And then it's like when we have this view, non-conceptualizations, and then it's like some outer circumstances, maybe disturbed during you doing positive things, disturbed by your families, friend, or some sickness, some different circumstances, and this cannot to disturb to your mind. You can to continue to carry what you're doing, the positive things. And then it's like become the supreme method. And then finally, the dedication. Whatever we do, even though we recite the one single money, or money pe mahonj, This single money we dedicate. I recite one single money. If there is the benefit I want to give to the sentient beings, then you're doing recite the one single money or mani padme hum, the mantra, but your intentions to making this benefit the virtue. It is the multitude, like kind of the inexhaustible in the future. Each moment great and great is become. Like there is the example, when we have like a drop of the water, if we put in the dry land, immediately it's evaporated, disappeared. But if we put in the ocean, and this drop of the water almost never disappeared until the finish of the ocean. Like this, with small positive things to dedicate the ocean of the dedications, to put in the dedication. And then these small, the positive actions become the great, like inexhaustible. We say it's the good trees. Every year is producing good fruits, but root of this tree is never disappeared. Like this, these are three supreme methods. It is the very important. The way you listen to the Dharma, we need these three supreme methods. It is very important to have. But even more important is the motivation, which is you are listen to it. Listen to the Dharma is very important. More important to have this good attitude, of course, sometimes enhanced by the three supreme methods. Therefore, it's like when we practice Dharma, when we listen to the Dharma, when we are like coding the Dharma activities, all the times we need good attitude. Sympathetic attitude. Good attitude means kindness and concerning the benefit for others. That is the more easy way. It is like whatever I do, may this become the benefit for sentient beings. May all my activity of the body, speech, mind to be benefit for other sentient beings. To verbally to say like this, mentally concerning like this, and bodily to acting towards like these ideas. Then it's like a kind of the perfect. There is one quotations. What makes an action good or bad, not how it is looks, nor whether it is big or small, but the good or evil motivation behind it. And it's what we are doing, some positive or the negative, through the body, speech, mind, and it's become the bigger or small, or like very profound or not profound. Everything depends on our motivation by the mindset. Therefore, for example, our mind is the virtue, mind is compassionate, then there's a body, speech is automatically become the compassionate body, compassionate verb, and whatever activities related to the compassions, then it's automatically virtuousm. That is the virtue, meritorious, source of the good, and the cause of the happiness in the future. Otherwise, when we are like kind of listen to the Dharma, and there is some conceptual ideas. For example, no matter how many teachings you have heard to be motivated by the ordinary concerns, such as the desire for the greatness, fame, or whatever is not beware of the true Dharma. So first of all, it is most important to turn inward and change your motivations. That is the key point here is to say. When we listen to the Dharma, and when listen to the Dharma, or when we are meditating the Dharma, and we are doing the coding the Dharmas, it is like that moment, maybe it's like a kind of we are motivated. like kind of ordinary concerns. Ordinary concerns such as the desire. Or if I'm practicing Dharma, maybe I have desire, become the great something. And some Islam says like the materialism, says, spiritual materialism, says, someone's using the spiritual path in order to get power, like kind of title and kind of the like different positions. And then it's like, this is we call the spiritual materialism, or we can to say it's like kind of according the desire. And then Dharma is not really become the Dharma. Desire for the greatness. Or if I'm study very well, maybe I will become the famous. If I'm study very well, maybe I will become the teacher. And that is like I can to teach, I will show, I will have a nice throne, and people prostrating to me, and then it's like I can to explain to the Dharma to them. Say. Of course, but then it's like not like concerning the benefit. This Dharma is like, this kind of doesn't go, Dharma doesn't go antidote for our disturbing emotions here. Generally, Dharma should to be the antidote for our disturbing emotions. Dharma doesn't go to our disturbing emotions, then Dharma is not very good Dharma. This Dharma is general like kind of education, say, and like this, and also fame, say. Or if I'm doing like this, maybe I have such desire to become the famous. And this kind of the idea, it is like really not very good. And then it's like say important when we receive the Dharma and to turn inward. When we receive the Dharma, bring inside to turn inward to check the Dharma teachings apply to our negative emotions. Or I have proud, I have disattachment, I have anger, I have such disturbing emotions. How I can to work? What is Dharma says when I have anger? And there's a Theravada, one teacher says like, it's really the best to practice the Dharma on the anger, say. When you are under the disattachment, or under your hatred, or your like kind of the desire or proud, say. Whenever like disturbing emotions arise, in Dharma says, do not to look the outward, who disturbed to you, where you have the desire, where you have the like kind of the attachment. You turn inward, Dharma says, your Dharma is applied to under this thoughts of the disturbing emotions. How it is, while you holding these disturbing emotions, then these disturbing emotions is not become the disturbing emotions. Disturbing emotions can to help to yourself. Disturbing emotion, the nature of the disturbing emotions, the nature of the mind is. And therefore, like this, very important two things, to turn inward, to change inward, and inner like kind of making the decrease of the disturbing emotions. That is the really Dharma. That is the really we are like kind of receiving the benefit from the Dharma. And it's like when we listen Dharma, how I can become the famous, how is I will become the like kind of the powerful, how I will to get the like kind of title, how I can to become like something such. This is kind of the desire attachment. Then Dharma is not really Dharma. Dharma is religious. Dharma is like kind of different ways. Sometimes Dharma practitioners has such expectations to be quickly something enlightened, or like a kind of supernatural power. And if I have supernatural powers, then surely I have a lot of different clairvoyance. I can to read others' mind. I can to see the others doing things. Then it's like become I'm a secret, CCTV cameras. I can to watch everything. I can read everybody's mind. It's very bizarre. Then I have powers. It's really Dharma practitioners, nothing interest. really is like very most important, how is going on my disturbing emotions. Today I studied, and Dharma says like this, go to the home and bring into the world and how it is. When I have disturbing emotions, how I can reply. And how I can to recognize the fundamental characteristics of the defects, how I can to change. I'm thinking about karmic phenomena. Nobody's given me these appearances, but this is my karmic phenomenon, how I can to change. My habitual tendencies, how I can to change. The changer is the Dharma. Dharma is like apply to the habitual tendencies. Then these tendencies is changing. This morning I'm really addicted to the smoking, alcoholic, something. But in the middle day, I studied Dharma. Afternoon, I changed. My habitual tendencies is not very good. I have very bad habitual tendencies. I was alcoholic. I have different. But now I understand I changed. Now I'm completely free. Then is Dharma such and benefit. Then is automatically you become the genuine self. It's a really serious Dharma practitioner. It's become genuine, authentic teachers. To all the whoever live in the surround, family, societies, everybody respect you. One day it's like everybody running after you, like you become the honey. You know, honey is there, all the honey bees is surrounded automatically. And all others follow you and respect you, give present, respect to you. They call you a kind of general, the venerable, peerless teacher. Maybe you don't need to advertise to say, I am a venerable, I am like something, I'm a Dharma teacher. Never no need to this kind of informations. Then it's just like inner the development, positive development, positive habitual tendencies, and very well inner like the destroying or decrease the process of the habitual tendencies. Then it's like decrease negative habitual tendencies, increase the positive habitual tendencies. Then naturally you become the authentic. That most important. In words, sonam daye thamche zikpanyu thomnini buddhanam pam. Yiganan jivalan drubaya sabam sol dogan drova sho shonchu senchu rambo che ma she panan she je shiba nyamba me ba ton kone kon pera sho